Donald Calvanese has been a writer for practically his whole life, and now he is proud to unveil the first novel of the Carcium book trilogy, Carcium, The Conflict Begins. Joining us this morning to share more about it is local author Donald Calvanese. Donald, it's great to have you on Mass Appeal.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
When did you begin writing?
I started writing when I was about 14, 13. I remember seeing a guitar in a music store when I was visiting my sister, and from there I just started writing. I loved it. Just couldn't get enough.
You're a musician, and you've written music, is that right? Or you're into music and writing music?
Yes, I started out as a musician, and as a kid I played with all those little toys.
Yeah.
I played with dragons and I played with Army Men, and from writing as lyrics, it was like a natural flow. I went right into writing little stories and making up my own little worlds, small stuff as a kid.
But now you're in the restaurant business and you have a full-time job, so you can't be a full-time writer. How do you find the time to fit in writing a trilogy?
Well, it's kind of tough, but it's the way I set up the book and the way I write. It makes it so I can write in small little blocks. So what happens is I start and I set up my whole book in 1 or 2 sentences per chapter. Then I have the whole book in front of me. Then I expand that to a paragraph or 2, and then I expand that into scenes. So every chapter is now 7 or 8 scenes. So let's say I'm working at work and I'm doing my thing. Customer needs some help, and one of my staff has a question. Okay, so I'm working. Then I want to write a little bit. Well, I put up a scene, and the scene may say introduce Troy's family. So what happens is a movie starts playing inside my head. And I just write down what I see. Well, I'm writing for 10, 15 minutes. You know how it is at work. I mean, everyone's running around. It happens every time I want to sit down. So after like 15 minutes, knock on the door if somebody needs a hand. All I do is, it's weird, I just press pause. Movie stops. I go do what I need to do. Maybe an hour later, I can come back to it and start up the movie, because it's all small little sections. I'm not trying to write an entire novel, and then before you know it, you have the whole thing put together. That's
so interesting to hear the process and really how it is step by step, because you don't really have 2 hours of uninterrupted time that you can sit down and really focus on it. So it is just about pressing play and pause.
Yeah, exactly. It's about putting it together in just small little blocks, like building a pyramid, really. You just kind of put it together, and before you know it, you're finished. Really.
Tell us about Carcium, The Conflict Begins, the first book in the trilogy.
Okay, the story is about, it's this prince. He's young, he's naive, he loses his kingdom, and now he has to fight to get it back. And along the way, he meets a dragon. They become friends. He has to learn about friendship, because he's not very nice. He's not a nice prince, so he gets it taken away from him. He ends up meeting a princess, and she is actually stronger than he is. She's the fighter. She's the one with the sword. He's more of just kind of this naive boy, but he learns as he goes about. He learns about life. He learns about how to be a king, how to be a ruler, a good ruler like his father. I don't want to give away too much of the book.
No, you don't want to, but you just see the trend that it's a wonderful story for all ages.
Oh yeah, I have kids reading it. My nephew's 9, he's reading it. I had this young girl, she's 10, she's reading it. I just had a woman come in the restaurant the other day. She walks in almost demanding. She goes, well, you need to tell me about the second book. I just finished your book. I need to know, tell me something. I said, well, if you want, I could. I'm like, I really don't want to tell you anything. You know what, forget it. Don't tell me anything.
Oh, wow, that's really cool for you. That's so neat for you to be a local author and to have everyone reading your book and to be able to ask you about it and to talk to you about what's coming next, especially since I know there is a book 2 and a book 3.
Oh, yeah.
And this artwork here is beautiful. This is some illustrations that were put together for your book. Yeah,
this is a gentleman. He's from British Columbia, Canada, and he works with Warner Brothers and he works with DreamWorks. And what I do is I'll send him a description, part of what I've written in the book, and to give him an idea of what I want. And out of like just a couple of paragraphs, I'll take a couple of pictures from the internet that I would like to have the person look like. We'll discuss back and forth, and then he comes up with this wonderful artwork, which then brings the book, just brings it to life. As you go on the website, if you go to the Carcium.com as a website, you can see all the different characters. Yes. So as you're reading the book, now it's even more exciting, and it, just, I don't know, it makes the book thrilling, really.
It's incredible artwork, absolutely incredible. And do you have any advice for people that may think they don't have time in their life, but they really, really want to write a novel?
I've had several people approach me after they find out you've written a novel and you've been published, and from all different. I had a gentleman approach me about a story he wanted to write about the Red Sox. Another gentleman, he wanted to write about his life. Another gentleman was about history. And I think if you put it together in small, just little blocks, you put your story together, you make it interesting, you make it fun. My doctor, we talked the night of the party, and he's like, I really want to write about the things that happen in his office. He said, but it's not interesting. It's not. I said, so I explained to him, I said, if you just write small, and you make it fun. And as you look at that scene, you can kind of set the whole book up before you write it, so you know that it flows and you know that it sounds good, and that's really how you do it.
And it sounds like the process works because it's worked for you, so of course it's something that can be done. And really quickly, Donald, where can people pick up a copy of Carcium?
You can pick it up just about anywhere. On my website, it's carcium.com, Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, BillionBooks.com. It's nationally, it's really getting great reviews too. So.
Well, I can't wait to see the movie one day, maybe, right? Very exciting.
Couple years.
What an achievement. Congratulations on it.
Thank you.
They're very cool. And to find out more about Donald Calvanese and the Carcium trilogy, just click on Leisure Appeal at mymassappeal.com.